Good evening. It's January 19th, 2023. Welcome to the weather update. 7:30, and it's been a rainy day, turning into a rainy evening. Rain continuing. You can see some heavy rain. We've had some heavy rain at times tonight. Not seeing any thunderstorms here, but you can see definitely some heavy rain. Definitely a wet night, a miserable night out there. I didn't even go out today. I didn't even get out of bed most of the day because it's so depressing after what I went through yesterday. Here's the storm. It's bringing us all the rain. You can see all the clouds from it. This is part of the same storm that delivered a crippling snowfall to parts of the upper Midwest and tornadoes in the south. If we go to the CONUS view, which we'll do next, you'll see here's the storm right here. So you clearly see it. There's actually another piece. This piece and then this piece over here of the storm. If we go to the weather map, you'll see the two pieces right here. A low center over us and then another low center over the Great Lakes where all the snow is. All right. And if we go look out here, you can see it says major cross-country storm stranded motorists for hours, unleashing damaging tornadoes. So there's crippling snow in parts of looks like Colorado there. So and I think Flagstaff got 2 feet as well from this. So yeah, it was a pretty big snowstorm for the Rockies and the upper Midwest. But I have springtime allergies. As far as yes, because it's been so warm. As far as, looks like there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect over here for an area along the Great Lakes. So, yeah, pretty nuts, this storm. You can see winter storm warnings up from parts of Maine, coastal New England, winter weather advisories north of there. We're not going to see any of that. So let's look at our current conditions right now. Get them loaded on here. And by the way, this is the radar. This is the National Weather Service radar. And again, you can see the rain. You think, it's going to clear up, but it just keeps popping back up again over here. It was fooled kind of earlier, but we've been in this pretty steady, moderate rain all day long. And you can see, looking at it, and we got a wind out there too, so it's a little wind-driven. 43 at Farmingdale, east wind at 13, gusting to 18. So temperature's definitely cooler today, but you can see where the warmer air is if you go off to the south. This is where the warmer air is. This is the warm sector, and actually, if you take a look at this buoy out here, it's up to 59 degrees, and humid too, dew point at 56. The very strong south-southwest wind, and that air is getting lifted up over the cooler air that's over us, producing all this rain that we're seeing right now. And let's take a look and see how much rain we've gotten so far. We'll look at precipitation, and we will take a look and see how much rainfall we've gotten. I would say we'll do a 6-hour rainfall. This will kind of tell us. So we've already seen at least a quarter of an inch, if not more, of rain here. I can also go to the winter map, which actually is probably going to be better for this. And again, this also shows the radar here, and you can see the rain, heavy rain over interior parts of Maryland there. But let's go look at our rainfall totals here. So, yeah, everybody's gotten pretty much a half an inch so far, but it's still raining, so we're probably going to still pick up another half an inch. By all said and done, we'll probably be over an inch or at near an inch of rain for this storm, right? So let's go now to the models, and you'll see here, this is the storm right here that's affecting us. You can see this main center over here and then this other low over here. So as we move this GFS along, you'll see there's that low transferring its energy to the low off the coast. And the rain is going to linger through the night. It's finally going to end before sunrise tomorrow. But it's still going to be a little unsettled with clouds tomorrow and a slight chance of showers. Weak high pressure for the weekend. And then here comes the next soaker. Sunday night into Monday, another soaker again for us. Looks like quite a bit of rain with this. And then behind that, there'll be some colder air. And then here comes the next storm, but a track again over the lakes. So this again means, yep, you guessed it, more rain, another soaker perhaps for next Wednesday. And then after that, maybe we finally break out of the cycle of some soakers and start seeing some cold air and chances for snowstorms perhaps as we get into February. However, if we go through the entire month of January without a snowfall at Central Park, we are going to break a record. We're going to break the longest period without any snow consecutive at Central Park, and I think we're also going to break the latest snowfall ever recorded at Central Park. So really, really scary territory. Look, I'm not a big fan of big snowstorms, but they're part of winter, and to not have any snowfall at all is very, very disturbing. So that's the GFS. So let me go now look at some of the other models that we have. Let's go to the European model. Now, in order to get more out of the European model, we have to use it's already on the 12Z. Very good. So I'll show you the European and show you if there are any differences or not. So you can see, and this is where you got to look at the line, because the European model doesn't really have the precip type output, but as long as that 540 line is to our north, it's rain for us. So that storm on a Sunday night and a Monday is going to be rain, and then the next storm also rain for sure with that track. You can see the track right over us again. So we've got 2 more soakers to go through, and then after that we should be done with the soakers. All right. There's the icon as well. Icon is a little more encouraging if you want to see some snow before the end of the month is over. So let me go to the 12Z run of the icon. And I think this also doesn't do precip type, does it? If I'm not mistaken. It should be. Yeah, it does. Okay, good. This one does it. So you can see the low is a little more to the south, but still too close to get snow on the Sunday and the Monday system. And yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the icon also now is not giving us anything. And then another soaker on Wednesday. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's happening. And the models pretty much are in agreement, because the issue is when we point back to the upper air pattern here. Now we have seen the breakdown of the Pacific fire hose. And you see some ridging on the west coast. That's helping to get some cold air down. But the problem is the jet stream is not troughing in the east. You can see we don't really have troughs in the east. It's not until we get toward later in the month that you start seeing a trough develop here. You start seeing a trough trying to develop. That's the key. This is the GFS that we're looking at here. All right. If we go to the upper air pattern, you'll see, again, that troughing mainly in the west. But you see, as we get toward the end of the month, you start seeing some troughing in the east that could bring about some cold air and some ridging around Greenland, which would also help to bring winter in here. And that's why when we go back to the CONUS view and look at our temperature anomaly chart here, as we go through, so we're going to be above normal tomorrow, above normal through the weekend. I'm going to continue above normal until we get to next Thursday. And then after that, that'll bring a cold front through that should start bringing to return to more seasonal temperatures, and then some colder air, and perhaps even hinting at maybe some Arctic air trying to get into the picture. All right, this is just hints. These are all they are. We're still far out, so no reason to celebrate yet. But at least it's a little more encouraging than what we've been dealing with. So let's go to the HRRR now and look at, now we don't have the 0Z model in because I'm doing the weather update earlier tonight, so we'll have to look at the 18Z run of the HRRR. But rain's going to stick around midnight tonight, and then there's going to be another chance of showers before sunrise, and then it looks like it actually develops it a little more as it moves out into Suffolk around 8, 9 o'clock or so, and then still can't rule out the chance of a sprinkle or two, but it shouldn't be anything substantial. But you can see, judging by the tight isobars, that is definitely going to be a northwest flow right there. All right, so I'm going to move it on over to the GFS now, and we'll go ahead and look at our dew points and wind flow, all right, because you'll see that warm sector is trying to get in. I don't think it makes it to Long Island, so we stay in the cool air. We don't get into the warm sector. Winds go to the west tomorrow, and they're gusty. You can see all the barbs there. So we'll have and then northwest winds on Saturday, so that brings in the drier air. And then Sunday, you see, there it goes south again. And then there's the next system to bring in the moisture that's going to advect over us. And then here comes the next system, northwest winds here, as we get into Tuesday. And then next week, this is going to be This is going to be the LLJ type. This could be an LLJ event. We'll have to look at that. And then finally, you could see the darker shades. That's colder air, and you can see that. And that actually looks like could be some Arctic air as we get toward the end of the month. Perhaps we finally get into it. So, looking at our actual air temperatures as we go into tomorrow, you'll see here that temperatures will still be above normal. We'll probably be in the mid-40s, and then not dropping much at night because we'll have cloud cover. Saturday, a little cooler, maybe low 40s. Again, not dropping below freezing at night. Sunday, we're probably going to start warming things up again. We'll have to see how close that warm air gets. Then behind this system, you can see the air isn't that cold. Again, 40s, that's still above normal. Mid-40s for Tuesday. Here we go again, surging possibly into the 60s, that next system. And then behind that, that could open the door for things to get a little closer to normal, low 40s. And then finally, on Friday, a week from tomorrow, we may finally have a day where we'll only be in the mid-30s. All right, and then as we get toward next weekend, you can see that colder air trying to get into the picture right there. All right, so hopefully there's hope. And look at that. That looks really nice right there. That looks really nice. Though it's interesting, why is it jumping like that? Okay, it has the air temperature dropping below like 0 in a lot of areas, but then rebounding to the around 30. That doesn't seem right. That far out, the model gets a little unreliable, I think. Now, if you're looking for sunshine, unfortunately, I don't think there'll be too much. So we'll go to the FE3, which is the high-resolution version of the GFS, and then I'll go to the RGM for our sky forecast. And you'll see tomorrow, maybe a break or two in the clouds, but I think way more clouds than sun. And then maybe we try to get rid of the clouds overnight, and maybe some sun Saturday for part of it, but then it develops more clouds again. And as you can see, Sunday, we'll have clouds from the next system come in. Going to the RGM, here's tomorrow. Again, don't expect much sun. Don't expect much sun here. Though it is trying to show some sun over New Jersey in the morning, but I don't think we'll see much. Like I said, there'll be a lot of clouds around tomorrow. It'll be breezy. At least it won't be raining. So here we are for Saturday. You can see same thing, pop-up clouds. Though maybe it has a break over Long Island. We'll have to see. And then Sunday, obviously the Cirrus is going to roll in ahead of that next system, and then the rain by evening. And that's as much as I got on the RGM. And if I want to go any further than that, then we've got to use the regular GFS here, which is what we'll do now. So the regular GFS, and you'll see again, here we are. Maybe we would have to wait I don't know when the next clear day would be. We'd have to wait a while, maybe till Thursday, maybe. You can see a lot of clouds around, so it's, of course, this far out I don't like depending on the GFS sky forecast. So let me go now to the Climate Prediction Center, and we'll go ahead and look at your 6 to 10 day outlook. And we're finally near normal. You can see that area below normal, above normal with the precipitation, and near normal on the 8 to 14. So it still doesn't show any really below normal temperatures in the east, which means they're not really too confident on the trough in the east developing, unfortunately. It will get better, but because the fire hose is easing. But as far as getting any really winter weather in here, any bitter cold, still not a certainty yet, unfortunately. This winter has been a non-winter, pretty much, at least for us here in the east, especially on Long Island and in New Jersey. So, and of course, lower part of New York. If you go upstate, they've had some snow, obviously. They had those crazy snowfalls with that lake effect, and now that's a distant memory. I wonder if that all melted. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Thank you for watching, and have a good night. And again, rainy night tonight, but it should be easing by, like I said, as we get to 10, 11 o'clock. But, the day's pretty much, the day's over by then. So hopefully tomorrow we won't have to deal with any more rain. But we still got 2 more soakers to deal with in the next 7-day period. That's it for this weather update. Thanks for watching.